If you want to see how I go from this to this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notification bell so you don't miss whenever I post any of my videos. Also, follow me on all of my social media. I'm going to start off with my brows. At this point, you can use a brow pencil, a brow pomade. I'm going to go in with my Benefits Goof Proof Brow Pencil, and I'm just outlining the bottom of my brows. And I'm basically doing my brows the way that my brows are formed. I don't add anything extra to them. And then I'm going to add a line also at the top, and I'm making it as straight as possible so I don't have to use as much concealer. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in, and I'm making sure that I don't fill in the front part too dark because I want it to look more natural. Now you can go in with any concealer that you want. I'm going to use a Sephora concealer. Again, everything that I use will be listed down below. And I'm just making sure that I don't go as close to my brows as first. And now I'm just taking a brush and I'm going to get as close as I possibly can, making that line as straight as possible. And then I'm going to blend the rest of that concealer out. Now, as for the top of my brows, I am going to go in with a Sephora bronzer slash contour stick. And I use that because that one is close to my skin tone, so it would not work for me for a contour stick or a bronzer. Now I'm just taking my Makeup Forever. It's a primer, but it's also a color corrector at the same time. And I'm just taking that under my eyes as well as my cheek area. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but it didn't do too much correcting. It is very lightweight, so I do like it. I just wish that it had more coverage, but I feel like if I put too much, it'll be orange, and definitely do not want my whole entire face to be orange. But it's very lightweight, so if you want a more natural look, I recommend this Makeup Forever products. Now I'm going in with the Makeup Forever foundation. Like I said, everything will be listed down below as far as the colors and everything. And at first, adding it to my face, I did think it was a little light, but the more and more I blend it out, it blended perfectly with my skin. Again, this is very lightweight, and I guess it's buildable. I didn't use too much because I didn't know how it would turn out, and I didn't want it to look too light. So I just added a little bit more, and that's it. I didn't want to add too much, but it's very lightweight and I do like it, so I will continue to use it. I just color correct with a different corrector the next time. You always want to make sure that you blend, and this step is optional. I'm taking a damp beauty blender and I'm just pressing that foundation more into my skin before going in with my concealer. Again, you do not have to do this step. This is just something that I did. And today's concealer I'm using is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer, and I'm just using this under my eyes, and I didn't want it to be too bright. That's why I went ahead and went with this color versus the LA Pro concealer. Even though they're not too far off as far as the shades, but I feel like this one is a little more closer to my skin tone than the other one. Using that same damp sponge, I'm going to blend this concealer out. And as you can see, I love this concealer because it really blends really well. I don't let it sit for too long because I feel like if you let concealer sit for a long time, yes, you can get full coverage from it, but also it'll be harder to blend. So try not to let it sit for longer than 2 minutes. Now I'm just adding some setting powder under my eyes so that I don't crease or get any creases. And I'm also, as you can see, adding it to my lids because I do have concealer on top of my lids as well. Now I'm just going to add a line straight down the center of my nose. So when I go to add my highlighter, that part of my nose will stand out more. And I'm going to continue to add the powder under my eyes and on top of my lids, just so I can make sure I don't crease up as much. This part is optional as well. I'm just adding a little bit of that banana setting powder under my eyes, so when I go and add my eyeshadow, it doesn't leave any fallout onto my foundation. I normally will go ahead and do my eyeshadows before my foundation, but as lately I've been forgetting to do it, so that's why I've been doing it afterwards. Now I'm going in with my NYX palette, and this is a new palette. I'm going to take that dark blue shade in this palette in that color only. Again, everything that I use will be listed down below. And I'm just going to take that color and add it to my crease area. Now I'm going in with another NYX palette, and I'm adding that as a transitional color. It's also another blue shade. It's more of a lighter crystal blue. I'm also using that same brush for the transitional color to blend those two shades together so I don't have any harsh lines. This step is optional. I'm going to take some of my eye makeup remover and put it on a Q-tip and basically do a cut crease that way. And the only reason why I'm not just going in with concealer over that blue is because I don't want any blue to peek through that concealer. This is optional. You don't have to do it this way. I just find it a little easier when you're dealing with deeper shades. And it also helps give a guide for your concealer when you're doing a cut crease. And don't forget, you will need some glitter primer just so you can have something that glitter can stick to. And I do apologize throughout this video for me chewing gum. I forgot to spit it out and I didn't realize it until editing this video. So please forgive me for that. But now I'm just adding that primer, glitter primer, onto my lids, the same exact place that I added the concealer. And then I'm going to take in a flat brush and I'm going to add in my glitter. You can take a liquid liner or a gel liner, a matte liner, whatever liner that you want to use, a pencil, and just do your wing or however you want to do your eyeliner. Honestly, you don't even have to do eyeliner if you don't want to. It's optional. I just love the way eyeliners make my eyeshadows look. That's the only reason why I choose to wear them. I prefer liquid eyeliners over any other ones, but that's just my choice. And I'm getting as close as I can as possible to my lash line, and then I'm going to fill in everything. And it's kind of hard to fill in the liner over glitter, so just be a little mindful when you do that. Like if you don't want to get glitter all the way to your eyelids, you don't have to. I just like to, just to make sure that everything is nice and covered. Now you can take whatever pressed powder that you have, preferably one that's closer to your skin tone, and just remove that powder under your eyes as you see me doing. And I also made sure that I got the one off my nose as well. And I like this color because it still gives me that natural highlight, but it's not my shade, but it's not too bright either that make me look like Casper. And this is the point that you take whatever bronzer or contour stick, cream, whatever, preferably not cream because you already added powder. You don't want to add cream onto powder. You want to do your creams way before you do your powders. But I'm just taking some bronzer and adding it down my nose, under my lip, and also my chin area, my cheeks, and my temples. I don't really go on my forehead, for the simple fact that my forehead is not going to show as much, but I go in the places that's really going to show. This step is optional. You don't have to do this step. I just learned how to contour recently, so I'm still learning as I go. I'm learning different techniques. So again, this is a more natural look for me, minus the contouring, but again, even with that, it still was more natural because it's not too harsh. I wanted more focus on my eyes than anything else. Again, highlighter for me is optional. I've been doing it lately, but I'm just highlighting my cheekbone area. Um, I'm gonna do under my brows as well as my nose and my lip. This is optional. You don't have to highlight if you don't want to. I did add a little bit also above my brow and a little bit on my chin area. Again, it is optional. You don't have to. And when doing the bridge of your nose, I find it a little bit easier when adding it onto your nose with your finger, as well as doing the one on your lip, just adding it with your finger. and go ahead and blend that out so it won't be too harsh. Now for my lips, I kind of wanted to keep it a little bit simple, so I am going to take my go-to lip liner, outline my lips, kind of like overdo it a little bit. Again, I do love the ombre look. And then I'm going to take my Fenty gloss and add that in all over my lips and pucker those lips together. I just needed a little bit of shine, but not too much. And for today, this is another one of my favorite mascaras. This is the one from Clinique, and I love this mascara. It's not too thick, and honestly, this is a sample size that I ended up getting for free, so I do have to go and purchase the full bottle, but I love it. It also gives me a lot of volume and length to my lashes, so I do recommend, when just not stick to your favorite mascaras, try to venture out a little bit, because you'll be amazed how some of the other mascaras work. After I finish this up, I am going to go ahead and do my lashes off camera, as well as the setting spray. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.